Hey gang, this episode is the best one we've seen so far. It really has so many good lines that still hold up today as some of my favourite jokes from the whole show.
This is Brandon Anowitz's life. Hot chick from the newspaper, hot chick from the post office, hot chick from the hospital.
Her name is Anne. You know her name. Her name is Anne.
We get to meet new character, Dave, who is present throughout a lot of this season. And I like his characterization a lot. I think he fits in the world really well. The only downside is, as with a lot of actors, you have to separate the art from the artist. But he is an enjoyable addition to the show.
What is it?
So, in this one, Leslie and Tom find weed in the community garden and decide to hold an overnight stakeout to try and find out who planted it. Leslie and Tom hang out in the van, chatting and setting up their equipment.
Let's see how this
Yeah,
goes.
test shot. You ready? Just focus up on the pit. All right.
Stop.
Focus up right where the
Stop.
Focus up right where the weed is.
Stop.
During this stakeout, they see Mark pick up Anne from her house for their date that was set up in the previous episode, as well as seeing Andy head down into the pit, and the gang find out that that's where he's now living. Andy has been surviving by eating the produce down in the garden.
You're living in the pit now?
For now, yeah. It's awesome. Somebody just planted a garden down there with fruits and vegetables, so I'm getting a lot of vitamins.
So Leslie shares the candy with him in the van, before taking him out to go get some food, leaving Tom behind to carry on the stakeout. Tom gets locked out of the van right as Anne and Mark get back from their date, so they call the police as they see him trying to break into the van. When Leslie gets back, she meets Dave, the police officer, who informs her what had happened, and Leslie heads down to the police station to get Tom.
This is a police matter.
Well, it doesn't seem to matter to the police.
We learn that when the police found all of Leslie's belongings in the van, including the candy and the pictures of Anne and Mark, they assumed that Tom is a pervert.
I think your friend might be some kind of a pervert.
No, look, that's what people think when they first meet him, but he's all talk.
Leslie explains the misunderstanding and gets to take Tom home. We end off the story arc by learning that Dave thinks that Leslie is cute.
I was attracted to her in a sexual manner that was appropriate.
The B-plot centers around Ron being unable to move as he sneezes while he has a hernia. He can't leave his chair, but luckily April notices that something is wrong.
Is this some kind of weird power trip?
Please.
And she comes back for him after work and takes him to the hospital.
Catch. I went home, but I had this strange feeling that there was something wrong with you, so I came back.
He's too fiercely independent to ask for help because
I'm Ron Swanson.
Do you see him? Do you think a depressed person could make this? No.
this episode is good. The plot is fun, the jokes are good, and the characters all work well together. We are building relationships between characters that we haven't seen much of together, like Anne and Mark and Ron and April. This episode sets up the tone for this father-daughter style relationship that April develops with Ron, as we get to see the side of her that is caring and loyal to the people in her community, as opposed to most of what we've seen of her previously, being somewhat callous and ambivalent. One of my favourite lines in the whole show is said in this scene, where April is guessing what's wrong with Ron, and when he tells her that he has a hernia, she just carries on guessing things. Hold on, I'll just play it.
I have a hernia.
Do you have syphilis?
I said it's a hernia.
I know. It's possible to have two things.
I've talked briefly previously about the fact that I don't hate Anne and Mark together as a pair. I think that they work. Like, don't get me wrong, I think they work together because they're both boring and normie, so they just kind of form one straight man trope character when they're paired together, but I think that they make sense together. Mark is kind of charming at times, with being a little doofy.
Yeah, well, you know, with a body like this, you don't get the brains, too.
Ew.
And he makes Anne laugh.
Hey, you kind of kissed me.
Yes, I did. And now we both have herpes.
I think he can be funny, and I think that Anne brings out the good bits in Mark's character, now that he's been rewritten as Mark version 2, who isn't a sleazeball anymore. Tom's behaviour is pretty illogical through the episode. Like, he gets locked out of the van when Leslie's not that far away yet. He could absolutely run after them and grab the keys from her, or just go with them, as he's not much use in a stakeout if he can't be in the van. Then when he's eventually in the van and Dave arrives, Tom's hostile for no reason. Like, I get that he thinks it's a racist issue,
What's the crime here? Parking while Indian?
and clearly isn't particularly fond of the police.
Nice job, Paul Blart.
But he won't show his ID to Dave, and he just states that it's okay because he works for Parks and Rec.
And show me some ID.
No, it's okay. My name's Tom Haverford. I work for the Parks Department.
Why would he think that that logically makes sense to excuse him breaking into a van and camping out inside? He also refuses to get out when he's asked to. Like, he's being so difficult for no reason.
Step out of the van.
I'll step out of your mama's van.
However, Tom does have two of my favourite jokes in this episode. Firstly, when Leslie is trying to determine Tom's ethnicity and asks insensitive questions about where he's from. He tells her that he moved to South Carolina from...
My mother's uterus.
Also, at the end of the episode, he's reassuring Leslie that she doesn't need to worry about Mark, as she could do a lot better than him. And then he makes it very clear that he is not hitting on her.
I didn't mean me. Keep it in your pants, nope.
chocolate, booze, diamonds, rubies, emeralds, and treasure chests.
This episode is all about relationships beginning. We've talked about Ron and April's father-daughter dynamic beginning to build. We obviously have Anne and Mark going on their first date, which also creates a need for a new relationship dynamic to form between Leslie and Mark, now that they've made it clear to each other that they are just friends and need to get rid of all the will they won't they vibes. This is similar to Andy's arc in this episode, of finding out that Anne is moving on, so he needs to either move on or try to win her back. And then we have the introduction of Dave, who is obviously Leslie's next love interest. They begin with not getting along as they're both getting in each other's way, making each other's lives harder.
Yeah, let's go home.
No!
Just go home.
No! No!
Easy.
It's only when Dave gets to see Leslie's passion and quirkiness that he realizes that she's cute.
I think it's kind of cute. I like Miss Snow.
Leslie is consistently scared of failure, and I think that's what made it seem logical that she didn't go to the police straight away about the weed and was hesitant to tell Dave later on. She rarely gets momentum at work, and she's making moves with the pit, doing a community project using the land. It is crazy that she would plant a garden at the bottom of the pit that 3 people have been seriously injured by trying to get down into. Like, Andy broke 2 legs. Mark was hospitalised for a week, and there's no clear safe way to get up and down. But oh well. I mean, Andy is clearly fully healed and not too traumatised.
I think I'm safe. She's gotta be tired by now. Hi.
This episode kind of has 2 distinct cold open scenes that are not really linked to each other. Firstly, we see Leslie reassuring Anne that it's okay for her to go on a date with Mark. This scene is another iconic cold open.
You know my code. Hose before bros.
And I remember it being loved by the Tumblr Parks and Rec community back in the day. I definitely reblogged ovaries before broveries.
Ovaries before broveries.
I'm also 99% sure quote was my background on my iPod Touch, or throwback. Then we cut to Leslie, sat with Tom, setting up the plot for the episode, as she explains the community garden and finds the pot. I'm still baffled that this garden project was approved after all of the injuries this pit has caused, but whatever, I'll get over it. The joke here is that Tom's pretending that he knows the Latin names of all the plants, but he's actually just naming musical artists that Leslie has never heard of.
Those are some ditties. There's some Bone Thugs and Harmoniums.
That's pretty funny all in all. I gave this cold open a 7 out of 10. The tag is decent. We have Tom complaining at Mark and Anne for having him arrested. It's a strong 6 out of 10. We get the birth of the name Andanowitz.
And Danowitz.
Mark corrects Tom, saying they thought he was a pervert, as they actually didn't think that. They just thought that he was breaking into a van. And then quips that she does actually think Tom may be a pervert.
For the record, I still actually kind of think he's a pervert.
You know what? Valid. He is a very odd man. This episode is good. It's for sure a 7 out of 10. The best episode we've had so far, but obviously still plenty of room for improvement. The jokes are actually pretty funny, which I know is like bare minimum for a comedy show, but this episode really feels like the writers and actors have hit their stride. It's a shame that we have some episodes coming up next that are anywhere from mid to just plain bad, for like the next 5 episodes. Feels like to me that this episode is what Parks and Rec really is, and they hit it time and time again in the later part of this season, as well as throughout the next few seasons. But unfortunately, this momentum does not hold up from here just yet. Anyway, this episode is not only funny, but also sets up a lot of really important relationships and dynamics become integral to the show. It builds characters really well, and it sets up the world of Pawnee really nicely, as we get a bit of a wider view of the town through seeing the police station and meeting Dave. Everyone is likeable throughout the episodes, despite their flaws. Like Tom mocking Leslie in the beginning doesn't feel like he has any malicious intent anymore. I think that's what makes this episode really feel like quintessential Parks and Rec. It's full of love and friendship and quirkiness.
Hello? We're having a meeting in here.
Does anybody have any questions